In this podcast, two Gen Xers are taking a trip down memory lane, revisiting and reflecting on the cinema of the 1980s. We'll look at the hits and the flops, the studio blockbusters and art house indies, the critically acclaimed, and the universally reviled. The series is hosted by me, Lisa Molinelli, a writer and librarian, and features Dustin Morrow, a filmmaker, author, and professor of film. So pull on your legwarmers, crank up your boombox, and hop in the DeLorean. It's time for the long rewind.
Welcome to the Long Rewind Special Edition Quiz Show. Part, holy smokes, 5, round 5 of the biggest, baddest 80s movie quiz in history.
It's like I'm taking my medical boards or something. It's like, this is like...
With your contestant, she's still going after the toaster oven. She's guaranteed the 80s movie quiz home game. But
I really want that toaster oven.
She's really hoping to win that toaster oven.
Yeah.
Let's see how you're doing. Shall we review?
Yeah, please. Let's see
how
did I do.
In round 1, you missed 4 questions. In round 2, you missed 6. In round 3, you only missed 2. And in round 4, you either missed 1 or 7, but I can't read my handwriting.
Well, what's a little rough about these numbers is you're not saying how many questions I had to answer for each round.
Yeah, well, there's like 200 questions total across the whole quiz. So if you divvy it up, I think we're probably doing something around, what would it be? 30 odd questions.
Okay, so I just want the people to know that, like...
Yeah, it's not like you're missing 6 out of 7 or something like that. No, you're doing 30. You're doing unbelievably well. Yeah.
Well, I'm doing my best.
Especially if you only missed 1 in the last episode.
Wow.
Although if you missed 7, you're on a downswing.
Thanks.
Are you ready to get back into it?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, here we go. So just to remind, so that you can play along at home, Lisa is, when she knows an answer right out, she's still going to pause a couple seconds to give you a chance at home to think of it or yell out the answer in your car or your shower or on your jog or wherever you're listening to our melodic voices,
etc. Yeah, I mean, and of course there will be times where you're yelling the answer at me that I can't think of, so there will be those times.
But there will also be times where they go, I have no idea. And you'll blast out the answer and they'll go, wow, she really knows her 80s movies.
We'll see how it goes. We're in it together, people. We're going to do this.
Yeah,
we're going to get this toaster.
Think of you working as a team.
Yeah.
You can share the...
Yeah,
you can have a toast party with your toaster oven.
We'll do it Charlie Brown style. It'd be great.
Do you ever make toast in your toaster oven?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Of course.
It just seems like a thing that's never actually made in a toaster oven is toast. Because you have a toaster for that. I mean, why would you use a toaster oven when you have a toaster?
I mean, I grew up with a toaster oven, not a pop-up toaster. So
really?
I'm used to making I mean, I don't always make toast.
They're so inefficient as toast makers. Like a toaster is so much faster.
Well, I think it's like and
toast in a more even manner.
My parents probably felt that it did both the toaster oven and toaster job, so they didn't need both.
All right, we just lost a lot of people. Let's get to the quiz. Here we go. Question 1. What was the title of the money pit referring to? What is the money pit?
I believe it's the house they buy that they're trying to renovate.
It is. It's a house. That's correct.
Throwing money into it.
That's correct. Yeah. It's a house.
Yeah.
What was the name of the weapon used by the prince in Kroll?
That would be the glaive.
Yes, the glaive. It looks like a giant... kind of medieval ninja throwing star.
Yeah, it's got 5 knives.
5 blades that shoot out of it. Yeah, and he throws it, and it comes back like a boomerang.
Yeah,
one of the coolest weapons in any movie ever. Yeah. The only annoying thing about Kroll is that he doesn't use it until the end. He climbs a mountain and goes into a volcanic cave and sticks his hand in the lava to retrieve the glaive, and then he just wears it on his belt for the whole movie, and then he finally pulls it out and uses it at the end, but if I was making that movie, I'd have him whipping that glaive all over the place because that weapon is amazing.
If you show a glaive at the beginning of a movie, you better use it by the end.
That's right. That's as the old screenwriting story goes. Yeah. I think I mentioned this in another episode, probably the one where we discussed Kroll, but this is how much Lisa loves me. She got me a glaive Christmas ornament for our Christmas tree.
What I wanted, and I probably said this in that episode too, I wanted one that was like shaped like a glaive, that was like molded into a glaive shape, but I couldn't find that. It was just like a circular disc that had the glaive stamped on it.
Maybe some listener of the show that loves the show will either make or track down a real glaive Christmas ornament.
Yeah, hit me up. I want one.
Yeah. Okay, what legendary band provided the music to the film Flash Gordon?
That would be the one and only Queen.
That's correct.
Best soundtrack ever, potentially.
Name 2 of the 4 directors who made short films that made up the feature Twilight Zone, the movie.
Oh.
So there were 4 famous directors that contributed to Twilight Zone, the movie.
Okay, I can name one for sure. The other one's going to be a guess. All right. Well, for sure, John Landis.
Yeah. Notoriously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was Joe Dante another one?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, that was an educated guess on my part.
Yeah, Joe Dante. Do you know who the other 2 were? Or any guesses?
If I sat here and thought about it, I'd probably know. I mean, I'm guessing they're also maybe genre filmmakers. No?
One of them is kind of.
I don't know. Tell me. I don't know.
So Landis made the one about the guy who learns about his own prejudice. He also did the wraparound segment with Albert Brooks and Dan Aykroyd.
That's a good segment.
Joe Dante made the one with Kathleen Quinlan about the little kid who has evil powers and controls his family, keeps his family captive.
Oh, wow.
There's the second segment was about a bunch of older folks in a retirement home who become young again for one night. They become children again.
Oh.
Do you know does that ring any bells?
Well, I mean, if I had to make an educated
Ossie
guess,
Davis.
would that be Ron Howard? I mean, I don't know. He made Cocoon.
Oh, right, because he made
I don't really know.
It was Steven Spielberg.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And the fourth one, the only real masterpiece in that movie is the segment with John Lithgow on the plane, and he sees the demon out on the wing of the plane. Do you know who directed that one?
I know, because that's really the only segment I know super well, that and the wraparound you mentioned. But I honestly don't. I should know, because it's the only one I know, but I don't know who did that one.
It was directed by Mad Max filmmaker George Miller.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got talent, that guy.
He's going places. Yep.
We expect big things from him. All right. Into whose body was Martin Short injected in inner space?
Well, I can tell you the name of the actor. I don't remember the name of the character's name.
What actor?
It was Dennis Quaid.
Yes, he was injected into Dennis Quaid.
I mean, I think was he playing an astronaut or something?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a funny movie. Speaking of Joe Dante, it's a Joe Dante movie.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Yeah. That's a fun movie. I like it.
How do you summon Beetlejuice?
Got to say his name 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Yeah. He's not here.
What other horror movie creature / villain do you summon by saying their name 3 times?
Oh, I think I know.
Actually, it might be 5 times.
It's a number of times.
You have to say his name a number of times. It's true.
I think... Is it Candyman?
It is Candyman.
I think so. I don't know how many times.
I think it might be 5. Okay. I was thinking 3, but
that's a lot of times.
It is, but I remember the reason I think it's 5 is because I remember watching that movie thinking it was too many times.
5. Weirdly, 3 is okay, but somehow 5 is too many.
Yeah, like come on. But Candyman has a lot of syllables. Let's get to it, all right?
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe it's only 3. I don't know.
I don't remember.
In what city did Adventures in Babysitting take place?
That would be the wonderful city of Chicago.
Correct.
Yeah.
What does Val Kilmer fill the villain's house with in Real Genius?
That would be popcorn.
Yes,
That's
he fills
so cool.
that house with popcorn.
They
Which I
really
think he
did
pops
that.
with a space laser, doesn't he?
Oh, I think that's right. And did they actually do that? They just
Yes.
Got a bunch of popcorn?
Yeah, in the era
must have been
before
wild.
CGI,
Yeah.
they actually filled a house with popcorn.
It
from
looks great.
What I understand.
I mean, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Great movie. Underrated 80s comedy.
Absolutely.
What was the first film that John Hughes and Macaulay Culkin made together?
Okay. I think it's Uncle Buck.
It is Uncle Buck.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Who played the teacher in Summer School? The Carl Reiner 80s comedy classic, Summer School.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his last name, but I know who this is. Mark Harmon.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mark Harmon.
Yeah.
What was Jerry afraid would happen at 3 o'clock in the movie 3 O'Clock High?
Oh, boy. Well, this is one of your favorites, and I have seen it.
Love this movie.
I suspect I might be a little off. I mean, I think he's afraid he's going to get beat up.
Correct. He's going to get his ass kicked by the bully.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Four body switching movies came out very close together in the 80s. Can you name two of them? Any two of them?
Okay.
Actually, one of these is not really a body switching movie, but it's definitely related.
I guess I should just start naming body switching movies.
Actually, there were 5. I've only got 4 here, but I just thought of another one. There were 5 body switching movies in the 80s.
I mean, would you count All of Me?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if you count that. That might not. That's not what
No,
you're
not
thinking.
really.
Not really. Okay.
But you're right. In All of Me, Lily Tomlin ends
it's
up,
kind
her
of-
consciousness ends up inside
Yeah,
of,
it's not really
of
switching, I guess.
Steve Martin, but they don't really
Okay.
switch. Yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you one of them, which I
Okay.
don't think really counts, but it's but I had it down originally. It was Big.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of in that vein because these movies always had a kid inhabiting an adult.
right. Yeah.
But even omitting Big, there were 4 other body switching movies
Yeah.
in
I'm
the
like,
80s.
I'm having some blankouts here. I mean, I'm thinking of things that I don't think it is, like Freaky Friday, but that's
Yeah, that
wasn't-
came later. Oh, it was
well,
earlier.
it was early
later.
and then late, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't in
70s
the 80s.
and 90s, I think.
Yeah, so we're kind of skirting the 80s there. And there was a really, I don't think this was this 80s, the Dudley Moore Kirk Cameron one that
it
I
was.
can't.
Do you know what it's called?
It's got to be in here somewhere.
Meaning your brain?
Yeah, in my brain. What is that called?
Yeah, it was made at the height of Kirk Cameron's powers
Yeah,
as a
Growing Pains powers.
as a,
I mean, he has different high powers now, just not in the
heartthrob.
mainstream.
Yeah.
I cannot think of the name of this movie.
He was like the biggest like teen heartthrob of that era.
He really
was on the
was.
cover of, I know this
Bop,
because my dad's
Teen Beat,
drugstore
yeah.
had a magazine rack
Yeah.
that always had like 6 or 7 magazines on it, Bop
Yeah.
and Teen Beat and Tiger Beat
Tiger
and
Beat.
17 and all this. And I remember this as a kid. Kirk Cameron was on the cover of every
I mean,
one of those for years.
I am a former consumer of those magazines. I definitely remember.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. I cannot. I mean, I can see, I didn't actually see that movie, but I saw a lot of promos for it. What is that called? Is switching in the title?
No.
No.
All right, I'm going to
don't
mark
know.
this down as a miss.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think you're going
should.
to get 2 of these because you're having trouble getting one. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you the actors and see if you can get any of the
All
others.
right.
You ready?
Okay, yeah.
So that one was Kirk Cameron and Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
It was called Like Father, Like Son.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
There was another one with Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage.
I thought of this one too, but could not think of the name of it. What is that called? I can't think of it.
It's called Vice Versa.
Oh, these all have such obvious names. I really should have thought of them. Okay.
There's one with George Burns and Charlie Schlatter.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not Oh God, right?
No.
That's a different franchise.
No.
Does it have like old or young in the title or anything?
No, not exactly close. It's called 18 Again.
Oh, that's it.
And
These
then
and
then the last one was Corey Feldman and Jason Robards.
Okay, this one I don't know at all.
It was called Dream a Little Dream.
Oh, that's what that movie's about?
Yeah, you haven't ever seen Dream a Little Dream?
I've seen parts of it and it seems really weird.
It is. It's an incredibly weird movie.
But no, I didn't know it was a body switching movie. No idea.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, Feldman doesn't act any different once he's inhabited by Jason Robards, supposedly.
Well, coke's a hell of a drug.
All right. Well, speaking of Corey's, that segues into my next question.
Okay.
Who played Corey Haim's hot date in License to Drive?
I believe it's Heather Graham.
It was Heather Graham. That's correct. What was Kurt Russell's name, or his character's name, in Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah. Isn't it Jack Burton?
It is Jack Burton.
Jack Burton.
You just remember what old Jack Burton always says, the check is in the mail. Yeah, Jack Burton.
Man. Love
He's
that
always
movie.
talking about himself in third person.
He sure is. I love that movie.
Where did John Cryer go to hide out from the mob in the movie Hiding Out?
You mean like kind of conceptually,
yes,
right?
I don't mean specifically.
Okay, yeah. Well, he went to high school.
Yes, he went back to high school. That's a great kind of lost 80s comedy.
I really like that movie.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Great. Mm-hmm.
He's a witness to a mob killing, and he goes into witness protection, but the cops that are protecting him are killed, and he escapes. This all happens in the first, 10 minutes, and then he goes back to his hideout with his cousin, and he, for some reason, enrolls in high school, and he colors his hair and shaves his beard, and goes back to high school and hides out in high school, and it's very funny.
This feels like a very 80s concept.
Very 80s concept,
like the body switching thing a little bit. Yeah.
Super fun movie. Okay. In what offensive film did C. Thomas Howell take tanning pills to pass as black to get into Harvard?
Yeah, this is a super offensive film.
Yeah. Not that anybody thought that in the era.
Weird. Yeah. It never.
I mean, I was a little kid, so my critical thinking skills were not probably that great. Maybe people did think that in the 80s.
Possible.
As a little kid,
we
it
were
never
very
crossed
young
my mind.
when this came out. I never saw this movie either, but I remember it being promoted.
Yeah, it's talk about movies that have not aged well, though.
You know this can be forgotten.
So do you know what it's called?
I do. It's called Soul Man.
It is called Soul Man, yeah. Radon Chong.
C.
Thomas Howell. She's the love interest.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She's so great. She deserves
James
better.
Earl Jones.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know any of that. Huh.
What was the nickname given to the serial killer in Manhunter?
I think it's the Tooth Fairy.
It is the Tooth Fairy. Yep. Do you remember why?
Well, I don't, but probably he does something creepy with teeth. I don't know. That's a guess.
I think he leaves bite marks on his victims.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he left teeth around or something.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
What kind of car was Christine in Stephen King's John Carpenter's Christine?
Oh, boy. Well, this is a terrible question.
I can tell you, audience, Lisa is not a car person.
I am not a car person, even
but she does love Christine.
I do
and
love
she's
Christine.
seen it several times.
I have. I wish I had Michael Dodge from the Dodge Movie Podcast on Phone a Friend.
He is a car
because
person.
He would know right away. And it's a beautiful car. For someone who's not a car person, it's a beautiful red color. It's a very classic American car, and I'm hedging because I don't know the answer to this. I don't know what kind of car it is.
It's a 1958 Plymouth Fury.
I would never have come up with that.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous car.
All right, I'm marking that as a miss.
Well, you should. I didn't know it. However, great scene of that car coming back to life from a crash. Holy mackerel, that's good.
Yeah.
Such a good movie, guys.
Where are we at? Let me see. Body Double was Brian De Palma's homage to what two Hitchcock movies?
Oh.
It was kind of a mashup of two Hitchcock movies.
I should definitely know this.
I don't think you've seen Body Double, but you've probably heard me wax on about it endlessly.
Okay.
Because I love it.
Body Double. Well, I'm gonna make a guess on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess Vertigo is one of them.
Yep.
I'm trying to think about what this movie's about. I get it really mixed up with another De Palma movie, and that's the movie I was thinking of, and I had a pretty decent guess for the second one, but I don't think
Well, you'll be thrilled by the next question then.
Oh, good. Okay, I think yeah.
So Vertigo is one.
Yeah, Vertigo's
what other
one.
Hitchcock movie does Body Double pay tribute to?
Having not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Is it Psycho? No.
Nope. It's Rear Window.
Oh, that makes sense, I
He
guess.
thinks he
Sure.
spies on the neighbor and he thinks he sees a murder.
Of course, I should have known that.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen it, that makes more sense than the one I came up with.
Dressed to Kill
Yes.
was De Palma's homage to what Hitchcock movie?
Okay, see, that's the movie I was thinking of.
Yes.
And I guess I would say
Michael Caine,
Yeah.
Angie Dickinson.
I mean, is that Psycho?
It is Psycho,
Yeah, that's what I
correct.
would have thought.
Yeah. Well, you've seen that one, too.
Yeah, that one I've seen. Yeah.
You didn't like it, as I recall. I think it was too much for you.
It was probably a little much for me. Although I can appreciate, like, with a little hindsight, I can appreciate it. But I don't know that it was a pleasurable watch for me.
Yeah, that's fair. From where did Adrienne Barbeau broadcast her radio show in the fog?
She broadcasts from a lighthouse, which is like a dream.
Yeah. Bonus question. What
Yeah.
was the town
Oh, yeah.
from which she broadcast? Where was her lighthouse?
Yeah, it's like, oh, Antonio Bay?
It is Antonio Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the movie Firefox, what is Firefox?
I've never seen this movie. I'm going to have to, it's not.
Clint Eastwood stars in this. He also directed it.
Okay, thank you for the hint. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a web browser.
Clint Eastwood in Google
Imagine
Internet
Clint Eastwood
Explorer.
in like an internet thriller. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Clint Eastwood in Apple Safari.
Oh my God. Netscape.
I want you guys to use Apple Safari. Hey, punk.
Right.
I know what you're thinking. Did I open 3 tabs or only 2?
Oh my God. I want to see this movie.
I'm doing bits. All right.
I've never seen this movie, so I don't really know. I guess I need to come up with some kind of guess.
Yeah. Have you seen the poster? Have you seen the VHS cover? Because that would answer the question.
I don't know if I have.
All right. You're going to have to guess then. What would you
Yeah.
guess Firefox is?
I mean, it sounds like a spy name or the name of some kind of like plane or something, like a fighter jet. I don't know.
You are absolutely right. It's a fighter jet.
Oh, okay. That's what it sounded like.
Well, that's good. Because
Okay.
that's what it is. How'd you pull that out?
Maybe I have seen references to it and it's buried deep in there. I don't know.
How many short stories by Stephen King are told in the anthology film Cat's Eye?
Oh. I'm going to have to make a guess here. I think it's either 3 or 4.
I'm going to force you to pick one.
Yeah, I got to pick one. 3?
Yes, 3.
Okay.
Do you know what they are?
Well, I think one's Cat's Eye. Right? About the cat, the weird cat one with Drew Barrymore?
Yep, the cat versus the goblin.
Oh, was it called Cat's Eye or is it called The Cat versus the Goblin?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh. I don't know what. Do I have to say the names of these? Because I don't know the names
can you
of
describe them?
them. Is this the one that also has the really scary one with the smoking cessation program? The really scary
Yeah, it's
we'll
like
kill your family if
Alan
you-
King and
Yeah.
James Woods is the
I couldn't think
customer.
of James Woods is the
Quitters
customer.
Inc. is the name of that
That is
story.
so-
That one I
It's
remember.
like one of the scariest things. It's so scary to me.
Yeah, it's disturbing. Do you remember what the middle one is? The Drew Barrymore one is the third one,
Yeah.
and the Quitters Inc. is the first one. Do you remember what comes in between?
I mean, there's only 3, and I have 2 in my head. One is, I think it's the one, and I forget is Ted Danson in it? Who's in this one? There's like one where somebody is like having an affair and they get buried in the sand and like the sea is washing over them and is going to drown them. Is that the one?
That is a short story. Assuming that's in Creepshow.
Is that in a different one? That's in Creepshow.
Yeah.
Well, the other one I had in mind, there's like, I don't even remember enough about this one. There's some like rich.
It does also involve an affair, this one.
There's like a rich family in a house. I don't know. This is a terrible.
No, you're misremembering.
Okay.
I
don't know.
The
what
one in
second
Cat's
one
Eye,
is.
it's called The Ledge. And Robert Hayes from Airplane and Starman, the TV show Starman, he plays a tennis pro who's having an affair with this rich guy's wife, and the rich guy makes him completely walk around the outside of his building on this like 8-inch ledge.
Yeah.
And if he can make it all the way around, he'll give him his wife and his car and everything.
Oh my God, that was a scary one too.
Yeah,
that one's
it's
really
great.
good, but I had forgotten it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Couldn't get the middle one, but that's a really good one.
Yeah. No, you did well to get even 2 out of 3. What 2 creatures did the lovers in Lady Hawk turn into?
That would be a hawk
Yes.
and like a wolf.
And a wolf. That's
Yeah.
correct. Isn't it great that they didn't call that movie Man Wolf?
I mean, that's a very 80s sounding movie to me, but Lady Hawk is the better title for that movie. Yeah.
Actually, Man Wolf would be a great heavy metal band from the 80s.
It sure would.
There was a band called Man-O-War.
Okay.
Yeah.
For all I know, there was a garage
There probably was a band called Man
Wolf
Wolf too.
somewhere.
Yeah. Either that or it would be a good like Cologne from Calvin Klein.
Oh my God.
Man Wolf.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Who played the villainous Morgana in Excalibur? John Borman's Excalibur.
You know, I love the Arthurian legends and I love Morgana, and that would be Helen Mirren.
It was Helen
Yeah.
Mirren. You're right. How many Conan movies were there in the 80s?
Oh no. Well, is this kind of a trick question? Because I feel like there's one that maybe doesn't have Conan in the title, but might also be a Conan movie. Am I remembering this right?
Sort of.
Are there 3?
I just want official Conan movies.
Oh, official Conan movies.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know, but I can only think of 2 official Conan movies.
Okay. Is that your answer?
Yeah, that's
Is that
my
your
answer.
final answer?
Yeah, I guess so.
You sure you don't want to phone a friend?
I didn't realize that was an option. I
It's
would only
not.
be able to phone you, so.
You're correct. It's 2.
Okay.
Do you know what they are called?
Conan 1 and Conan 2?
No.
One of them is Conan the Destroyer, I think.
Conan 1. Can you imagine if the first movie was called Conan 1?
I mean, isn't this canon or is it not canon?
No, it's not. These were, I think,
these were
Fox,
studio
I think,
films,
or Universal, maybe.
Well,
Yeah, these were big budget movies.
One is Conan the Destroyer, probably.
Yeah, that's the second one.
And is one of them Conan the Barbarian?
Correct.
Is
That was
just
the
what they're
first
called?
one.
Okay.
Yeah. What kind of creature was Jen in The Dark Crystal?
Oh.
The beloved
Yeah.
Jim Henson
Henson.
classic, The Dark Crystal. Our hero, Jen. What kind of creature was he?
Oh, man. I'm not sure I remember the creature names, which is really sad. I should know, but I don't remember. I can only remember the scary creatures' names.
Wow, I did not think this would be a miss from you.
I know. I'm really sad. I'm sorry. I feel really bad.
Jen
Oh, wait.
was-
I think I know. I know. Wait, can I come back?
Okay, yes, of course, yes.
Is it a Gelfling?
He was a Gelfling.
Phew. It finally came to me.
Yes.
My Henson powers came back.
Your Henson powers. Yeah.
I wasn't trusting myself.
Do you remember what the villains were called?
They're called Skeksis.
The
aren't
Skeksis,
they?
yeah. What were those those wise old guys that
Yeah.
Jen, what were they called?
Do you know?
I can't remember. I'm blanking.
I can't.
The
Maybe
Skeksis and the somethings, they were
Yeah. I can't remember. That's too bad too, because they're so great. But
That thing they rode was called like a Strider or something. Mm-hmm. And then there was, I think it was Agra was that kind of
funny,
that lady,
like bag lady kind of person. Yeah, I can't think of.
What was the other Gelfling?
What was her name?
Kira.
Yeah.
Such a great movie.
It is.
All right, where were the kids lost in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I don't know, like in their house or their yard or something, right? Like, I don't know. Is there something more specific I should be saying? I thought.
What's your final answer?
Oh. I mean, their house, I guess.
Close. It was their backyard.
Oh, I said it, but I went with house instead. Because I thought I remembered them getting stuck in like the, whatchamacallit, the garbage disposal, which is in a house, not a backyard. But maybe I'm wrong.
Not that I remember. It's mostly like blades of grass and spiders and snails.
Ant, right?
Yeah, like there's an ant.
Okay, I guess I should have
I'm going to give
yard.
it to you because I did hear you say yard, and I'm generous.
I mean, I've only seen this movie once, so.
I told you that my parents were in Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, right?
Yeah.
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 They, for those of you at home, the Morrows are running from the baby, and I'm not sure that you can see them. I'm not sure I remember you can see them, but
they're extras.
Yeah, they are extras in the scene in Las Vegas where the baby grows up to the side of King Kong and chases people down the street. My parents were reportedly among those people.
Wow.
Who provided the songs for Tim Burton's Batman?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if this is a trick question, too. I mean, it was Prince, but was he the symbol at the time? I don't remember.
Oh, no, he was Prince.
Okay, well then Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do two more, and then we'll have one last round after this one. In what film did the character, or did the secret agent Jack Flack appear?
Yeah. Of course.
Secret agent Jack Flack.
I'm having like a blank moment. I know this movie, of course. Oh gosh. I mean, I could tell you everything about this movie, and right now I'm just having a deer in headlights blanking.
Well, maybe if you start
title.
to describe the movie, then the title will all of a sudden come to you.
Yeah, well...
what can you tell me about the movie?
Well, there's a little boy who's really into a particular game and video game, which is probably what the movie's called, and I can't think of the name of it. And Jack Flack is the main character, and he's really into it, and his mom has died.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
I know. Oh, my God. And I love this movie, too. I'm just like having a brain freeze moment where I just cannot access it. This is terrible.
Stars Henry Thomas.
I know everybody who's in it. Dabney Coleman.
Yep.
The little girl who I think is great.
Yep.
It's set in San Antonio. I mean, this is very frustrating. I can't think of the title.
Let's do one more question. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Because I know you know this movie.
Yeah, I know it too.
All right. Name the three actors in the love triangle at the center of John Hughes's film, Some Kind of Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is Eric Stoltz,
Yep.
Leah Thompson,
Yep.
and Mary Stuart Masterson.
Correct.
Yep.
All right. Our final question. Let's go back.
God.
In what film did the character secret agent Jack Flack appear?
Yeah. This is terrible radio, so to speak. It's just me sitting here trying to think about it. And I feel like I have to fill the time, so I can't like sit here and think.
I can hum the Jeopardy theme or something.
Oh my God, this is horrible. I feel like it's just not going to happen at this point because I'm trying too hard. Like, I can't.
I'll give you the first letter, C.
Yeah, C.
It's 3 words.
C.
All right, I'm afraid you're out of time.
Yeah, I am.
It's called Cloak and Dagger.
Oh my God. I want to die. That's terrible.
All right. So you missed 4 in this round.
I'm glad I came back on the
That's not bad.
On the Dark Crystal one at least to maintain
Oh yeah,
my
you got that
Henson.
Gelfling. You pulled
Thank
that
God.
Gelfling from deep in the reaches,
I gotta
deep down in the
maintain my
basement.
Henson fan status, but I'm so sorry about Cloak and Dagger. Of course, I know that movie extremely well, and I just was blanking.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great movie. For those
It
of you
is.
that are going, what the hell is Cloak and Dagger? You should seek it out. It's a great kind of kid-centered thriller from the 80s.
It's great.
Yeah, really
so
great
good.
movie. Okay, that wraps up another round of the quiz. We'll have one more round of the great 80s quiz, and then we'll find out what we've all been waiting for. Does Lisa win the toaster oven?
I mean,
Stay tuned.
I feel like I should get a higher degree at the end of this or something.
You mean something better than a toaster oven?
No, like a graduate degree.
Oh, I see. Like an
It's
actual,
yeah.
like a certificate or something.
Yeah, this is rigorous.
Well, maybe I'll get my crayons out and I'll make you a little
Fantastic.
certificate.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye everybody. You've been listening to The Long Rewind. The program is produced by Dustin Morrow and hosted by me, Lisa Molinelli. If you enjoy the show, please consider hitting the subscribe button, leave us a good review on your podcast app, and tell your friends about the program. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.